Today, we're talking to a ceramics and pottery brand. They're doing all of the right things. They're selling retail, they're selling wholesale, they're even selling internationally, as well as on your third-party websites, such as Etsy. What they're not doing is any form of paid media or any kind of ads. And my guest today knows that in order to take her business to that next level, is something she needs to understand and really get the most of to take this brand to a whole new level. Can we help her? How can we help her? We're going to find out in today's episode. Let's get into it. Welcome to Grow with Evergreen, the podcast designed to help you grow your business by providing practical insights into all things paid media, creative, and digital strategy. Every episode, we help home, garden, and lifestyle brands with their growth challenges by delving into their business, dissecting what they're doing, and defining a digital growth strategy they can take and deploy into their business. Let's get into it. Right, welcome back, beautiful people. I hope you're all doing well. Today, we're talking pottery, ceramics and pottery. We've got a business that is in its early stages. It's a few years in. It's doing the best part of £250,000 online revenue. As I said at the top, she's already realized the power of going wholesale. So she's got that, and we're going to delve into what that looks like and how she's doing that. She's doing some retail. She's on Etsy. She's on a couple of other marketplaces. She has her own Shopify store, which you can find at Charlotte Manser Ceramics.com. We'll include that in the show notes. Some beautiful products. She's doing some really interesting stuff. She's all over her socials, all the things you would expect. But what she's not done up to this point, despite building that business to where it is today, is any form of ads, which I actually think is quite admirable. And it's actually quite rare because most businesses, when they're getting started, the default, we see it a lot, Darren, don't we? The default is
yeah, we do.
They come straight in and ads is the easy thing. It's the easiest thing to market. It's let's just whack up a few quid on Facebook and let's run to Facebook. She hasn't done that.
And a lot of people do it wrong.
Well, most people do it wrong.
Yeah.
But I like that. I like the fact that she's done that. She's done almost some of the hard stuff. She's gone. Yeah. She's doing some organic stuff. She's improving her SEO. She's got herself up on Etsy, and that's doing quite well. She's delved in. We were talking on the pre-chat that she's delved into the world of wholesale.
Yes.
She's also, you'll see on the website, but she's also doing some workshops and courses. So she's already diversifying and doing lots of different things. And we were talking, she's got grand plans for wanting to open up a shop and really create, I guess, like a community. It's a real sort of, she's got these ideas of what she wants to do in the next few years, which we're going to get into.
And I actually, it's a really nice product. And I just wanted to clear something up with you, because I made a face in the pre-chat chat and you sort of looked at me a bit confused.
Yeah, I did.
It's because I saw a mug on her website that I really, really like.
What is it? Is it like Star Wars or something?
No. It's called I'm more than one type of person, Aaron.
I haven't just completely pegged you as a certain type. Go on, what is it?
It's called the Mountains mug. It's
where can I find this?
Blue, sort of creamy.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, I've got
nice.
it on the homepage. Yeah, that is nice. Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's very nice. Right. So yes, there is some beautiful product on here, and I like the variation of what she's doing and how she's doing workshops, courses, etc. So let me give you a rundown before we bring Charlotte. My guest is, I should say, Charlotte. That's her name. So Charlotte will be joining us. Before I do, let's run through, as we always do, set the scene in as much as this business. So she's doing about 17K a month revenue on average. 4 team members. We'll get into who they are and what they do. Charlotte's already said she's very much on the tools. So she is making these beautiful products. First marketing challenge, paid media. Where to start, what to do, is it right, should she be doing it? So that's what we're going to get into and see what we think. I don't know is the honest answer at this point, but by what we're going to find out from Charlotte, we'll have a discussion and see where it takes us. The second challenge, I think we can all relate to this, finding the time. There's never enough hours in the day. There's only 24 hours in a day, and most of those seem to just disappear, for me at least, and I'm sure that is for you as well. So finding the time is the second big challenge. And then the third one, deciding the budget, which again is a really interesting point, because I think a lot of small businesses, they have a budget, which they have a budget I feel comfortable with, but is that the right budget? More often than not, no. And actually, that was actually the topic of my latest tea break, which actually I can give that a little plug while I've just remembered that.
There we go.
There you go. So Tea Break, if you haven't heard of it, is my weekly newsletter where on a weekly basis, on a Thursday morning, I send out a newsletter to our email subscribers, and it includes personal insights as well as paid media ideas. And the insights is really topical for whatever I'm working on, thinking about, that's top of mind, maybe reflective of the conversations I'm having with clients or prospective clients or others in the industry. And this week I was actually talking about how for brands, for businesses, when they're thinking about their marketing and their challenges and their opportunities, they always should think about business first and marketing second. And all too often businesses love to put the cart before the horse. They love to sort of go in and go, this is right marketing, let's talk ads, let's talk this, let's talk that. But actually taking a step back, thinking about, right, as a business, what are we trying to achieve? Where are we? And for that, I use the 3 Ps, which is understand the past, understand the present, and then understand the plan. And once we have that nailed down for the business, then we can start thinking, okay, and now how does marketing fit in, and where does it fit in, and what do we need to do? And that was the topic of the tea break. So if you haven't signed up for tea break, we're gonna have to, Darren, make a note. We're gonna have to include that in the show notes.
Oh, we will.
Oh, of course. And we'll get you signed up. And every week it's a different topic, and it's quite, you come into my mind on a weekly basis. So there are her marketing challenges. Essentially, paid media, where to start, finding the time and budget. She's then got a few questions she wants to ask me. And as we said, we always like to start with that business conversation. And so we ask before any guest comes on the pod, we say, look, what does your business look like in a year? And what does it look like in 5 years? And Charlotte has said in 5 years, she wants to have a physical shop with a cafe and really just bring all of these things she's doing, the courses, the workshops, together into one place and really create sort of a hub, which I think is quite an interesting idea. So hopefully that gives you the lay of the land, where the business is. I think, Darren, if you're happy, we'll bring Charlotte in and then get into this.
Let's do it.
Charlotte, are you there?
I am, and I'm now signing up for tea break.
Hey, look at that. We love that. Yes, good stuff.
Success.
Done. Episode complete. Right, amazing. So, Charlotte, welcome on the Grow with Evergreen podcast. Delighted to have you. Do you want to just give our viewers, listeners, a little whistle stop? Who are you? What's your business? Over to you.
Sure. So my name's Charlotte. I am a potter and the founder of Charlotte Manser Ceramics, which is a small British independent ceramics brand with sustainability at its core. I started my business just before COVID, so 2019. I've since, like you said, nearly reached £250,000 revenue in a year. I now have 4 members of staff. We have a 3,000 square foot studio where I do the production side of the pottery. We have our stock room where we dispatch from online orders, and we have the workshop space where we have courses, workshops, and we have studio members that pay to use the space. We sell all over the world. I think last year was 20 different countries we sold to, which is totally mad. Every day is surreal. Every day is surreal working here. It's it's so crazy. But yeah, we do wholesale. We sell on my website and Etsy. Etsy is our biggest retail platform. And then we sell wholesale directly and through Fair and Creo8. We also do the workshops, do the courses. And sort of in the last year, my social media has gone from 4,000 followers to nearly 22,000 followers. And I really champion other businesses, female founders, and work to create a nice community, like you said, of people that just have that space to enjoy craft and appreciate traditional crafts, slow crafts, sustainable products, and well-made products, and British as well.
I love that. That's one of the most succinct intros I think we've ever had.
Yeah, really
beautiful.
good.
Well done, you. I love that. So, a couple of things I want to join. So, you can't dangle a carrot and tell us your social media followers have quadrupled. Why is that? You told us why on the pre-chat chat, but share with you why that's happened.
Yeah, so last year I did a collaboration with John Legend, and that sort of then boosted the start of my social media following increase. So it was through Etsy, he selected some shops he liked, and then we co-designed products. So his name and my name were on the bottom of some ceramic products that I created that were inspired by his home and sold as a limited edition collection on Etsy last year, which was totally surreal and amazing. And he's still got my ceramics in his house. Like, it's very cool. And
That's one hell of a collab.
That is.
Yeah.
You've gone big from the outset. You've set the bar. Now, the other question I've got before we get into the businessy stuff is, you said just then in your intro that you're the potter. Is that what you would call yourself? You are a potter?
Yeah, I actually have this conversation with people. So
That's
I do
cool.
I do a pottery day for other small business startups in pottery, and I had 30 people come to my studio, and I just teach them all about my business. And I said to them, what do you define yourself as? Are you an artist? Are you a potter? Are you a ceramicist? Are you a business owner? Yeah, I would say a potter first, because I make stuff on the wheel. Yeah.
Okay, I love it. That's very cool. Today on the pod, we've got a potter. Right, okay, so we're doing the best part of a quarter of a mil. Now, what I always, as I said at the top, I think before we get into the marketing, which we will do, I want to understand the sort of the DNA, the makeup of the business. So you're doing all sorts. You're on these third parties, your Etsy's, you're doing some wholesale, you've got your courses, workshop. Can you, just to sort of set the scene for us, just give us kind of a percentage or a revenue breakdown of how much of our business is coming in from wholesale, how much of our business is coming from third parties, what percentage is our own website, and so on. I just want to get a sense of what makes up that, say, 230, 250 revenue.
Sure. So this year is looking like Etsy is going to be about 100K. So that is my biggest platform that I sell on.
Yep.
My wholesale is normally about a third of my business. So what would that be? Sort of 70, 80K,
70, 80K.
wholesale.
Yeah. Okay.
My website is sort of about 3,500 a month, and that's since I've been doing the workshops. Those sales are through my website as well. So I have the studio membership, the workshops, but I do get larger wholesale orders through there as well with direct wholesale. So I'd have to look into that a bit more. But it's,
sure.
It's
40,
probably
50K, isn't it?
Yeah, probably about that for my website, and then direct sales when I do open days and stuff like that is probably about $5,000 a year, maybe 5 to 10.
Okay, so the main drivers of the business, you've got, if we look at that, Etsy's doing about 100, wholesale is about a third or so, so 70, 80, and then a further 40 or 50 is sort of the website. So that, if we add that up, that is circa 230, 250. That is the there's going to be a few odds and sods, but for the most part, they're the key drivers. Fine. Now, if we look at the website specifically, do you know, even roughly, what percentage of your website is product sales versus courses, workshops, other things where it's more people-based? How much is people versus product?
I would say like 70% is product. And then the rest would be workshops and courses. And that product would then be split into retail and wholesale. And I'd maybe say 30% of the product sales is then wholesale.
Okay, right. This is good. Okay, hold on. Then workshop. This is fine. So big. Okay, fine. Okay.
Sorry, you're going to have to do the maths on that.
No, I'm doing it. This is good. But I think this is really important to get a sense of, you look at the business overall and go, okay, we're doing, say, a quarter of a mil. Great. But actually, we need to then understand. And for me, I always liken it to how reliant are we on, the different channels, but also the different platforms and so on. So I think understanding that, because when we're thinking about, okay, we want to grow, we then need to think, well, what are going to be the key drivers of that growth? So that's where we are today. Now, if we think, say, a year from now, where do we want to be? So let's say your current run rate, to keep the numbers simple, current run rate is best part of a quarter of a mil.
Yep.
Where do we want to be in a year? Do we want to be hitting 300, beyond that? Like, what does that look like, the forecast?
Yeah, so in the last, my doorbell's just gone off. In the last 3 years, in the last 2 years, my turnover has tripled. And I think that like rapid growth has come quite quickly. However, I don't think that's a continuous rapid growth. Just for like I said earlier, I'm at my peak in what I can achieve in the current staff levels. So I think I'd like to keep going up every year, but not as drastically as that. So maybe 300 to 350 for the following year would be ideal.
Okay, so okay, fine.
If that makes sense.
No, it does. Absolutely. Of course it does. Right. So we're going to do 3 to 350. It's just good because it's good to get a sense of where do we want this business to go? So, and how fast do you want it? Because that's going to ultimately dictate what we should be doing and what we shouldn't be doing and what we're ready for and what we're not ready for. So one thing you just touched on there which is capacity. Because when you're thinking about business growth, we've always got to think, can we deliver? So if we're thinking about that, you said you've got 4 team members. Who are they? What do they do? And are you comfortable recruiting? Do you want to build the team? Do you have an idea of what that will look like in a year from now?
I'd always be happy to add more people. It's just finding the right people. So in the last year, I've had 2 new people start and they're amazing. So they both help with glazing and packing the orders. Myself and Esme is my apprentice. So she gets funded with a government funding body 2 days a week to apprenticeship train as a potter. And we both are full 5 days a week and we make the products. Then the last member of staff, Lisa, she mostly packs up the products. Lisa does 3 days. Ari does 3 days. Lottie does 2 days. Esme does 5 days. I do 5 days.
Okay, amazing. And are you doing this all in the same? Because you're based in Farringdon, so are you all physically together every day working?
Yeah. So we have a studio which is 3,000 square foot, and then we've got our production space, the glazing space, a teaching space, the stock room. So yeah, we're all kind of spread out across this building.
But it's all together in the one building?
Yeah.
Amazing. Okay, good stuff. So in terms of capacity, do you think you could do 300, 350 with the current team, or would you need to add to it?
I think I would probably need to increase hours or add another member of staff. But I think what I want to do is work towards more workshops, because that's then it's mostly a wage rather than the materials, the profit on the products, the website, everything like that kind of adds to the product value. Whereas if it's just me teaching, then it's just a wage. So I would like to build up on the workshops a bit more, as that's new and I just started those in May. So
okay, that's okay. So is workshops and stuff, is that more of a priority of where you want to focus than selling more product?
Yes, at the moment, but still product increase. There's like 2 aspects: the workshops and the product. Yeah.
So we want to do but with the products. So the workshops. Just talk me through the workshops. How many people are attending? How often are you doing them? What do you make from doing them? Stuff like that.
So I do a 10-week pottery course 3 times a year, and that's like termly equivalent, so not in the summer. And in that 10-week pottery course, it's 2 hours a week, and then probably an hour of a staff member's time loading the stuff into the kilns or unloading them, everything like that. So it's about 3 hours a week of our time. Okay. And for that, I charge £300 per person. There's 12 people. I'm obviously VAT registered, which plays into that. Yeah. And then the sale goes through my website, so the fee off that.
So hold on. So that's 300 for a 10. Just so that's £300 per person for a 10-week course. Yeah. 2 hours per week.
Yeah, with an hour of a staff member's time maintaining what's made in the course, if that makes sense.
Fine. Okay. So
about 30 hours of work.
Yeah. So you're paying. Okay. Okay, so there's not... What margin are you making on that? It feels tight.
So I need 8 people to do the course to pay me £35 an hour and pay for the materials. For the extra 4 people of the course, it's all profit. Okay, so I'm getting £1,200 profit, and then the wage of £700.
Okay, hold on. So
if I have a full course.
And that's on a full course of 8 people?
12 people.
12 people. Okay, fine. Okay. Oh, I see. Right. So so you need 8 people to break even, basically. Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So 8 people to break even. 12 people and 12 is the max. Is that just because that's what it doesn't work to going bigger than a dozen?
I can have more people in the studio, but it's more like a comfortable size to have 12 people. Okay. And so I've just started the second course I've done, and both of them have been sold out and got the full 12.
How are you selling them out? What are you doing to bring those people to you?
So on my website, I put the listing on there. Mm-hmm. I then post on my social media, and then I post in Facebook groups. And most of the sales I've asked people is people seeing it on a Facebook group in the local area or seeing it on my Instagram.
Okay. Okay, I'm getting an idea of where we're going to take this. Fine. You also, I've just seen on the website, you do a shorter course, like 4-week courses and stuff like that. Are you still doing those?
Yeah, so I've just launched them. That's the first one I've launched. And then I have other people that use my studio to do courses. You might see there's a candle making, there's a stained glass one, a wreath making one. So people then come and use the space. And what I'm meant to do is charge them a day rate to use the space. However, what I'm often doing is saying, can I do the workshop? And then you don't pay me. So I'm not making any money from them using it. Although if I'm here, people then come into my stock room and purchase products. So averagely for a workshop, I'll take sort of 150 to 300 pounds in product sales post that workshop.
Yeah, fine. That's just your cherry on the cake, isn't it?
Yeah.
So just so I'm understanding the numbers then. So for each workshop, say you're running three workshops across the year, one per term. And the total profit on running one of those workshops over a 10-week period would be?
Does that include my wage?
Yeah, let's include your wage into that.
So £1,900 per 10-week course.
Okay. And your capacity to do more of those courses, because I'm just trying to run the multiples on this to drive that revenue up. That's not a huge amount of profit if we want to kick the business on by an extra 30, 40, 50K.
So I can do more evening courses. It's obviously then just building the customer base enough to fill the spaces, because I don't want to be doing a course with just 2 people, you know?
No, exactly. So it's not so much a time constraint. The only reason you're not doing more courses to drive more profitability, if that's what you want to do, is that getting bums on seats, right?
Yeah, it's just, this is a new part of my business.
Sure.
So it's just building that customer base. And I want it to get to the point that every time I list it, it sells out, you know? But we've listed ones that are like collaborations, for example, a pottery and yoga retreat, a weekend retreat, and we didn't sell any tickets. And it's like, but that sounds really fun. Why would you not want to do that? And it's just because we don't have the customer base to
you're going to have to
get people to do it. Yeah.
You're going to have to build it. Okay, fine. But in terms of to drive that footfall to the website, you're relying on, have you got an email list?
So I have on my website, I looked earlier, 2,300 customers on my website and 525 email subscribers. But I don't do any emails.
Oh, Charlotte.
It's time, isn't it?
We need on the pod, we need like a type thing. We're going to have to get some sounds going.
I'll get it installed.
But we're not doing, so you're not doing any email marketing?
I am doing, the only thing I do is social media, and I barely keep up with that. It's time, isn't it? And this is like, is it worth paying a member of staff to be doing this for 2 hours a week, you know?
Yeah. Right. So, okay. So I think I'm getting the picture of what we need to do now. So the workshops, the courses sounds good. You know, you've got a studio, so you've got the setup. Driving people in, getting people through the door for you is key, right? You know, that's how you're going to grow this business, because when they're through the door, whether they sign up for a course or a workshop or buy a product or this or that, just getting those people, you know, pulling people towards you is how you're going to drive this business. Exactly what they end up buying or how they interact with you is going to be different. And I think, you know, for me, looking at the workshops, I think that's a good thing. I would be using that as a hook, but I don't think you're going to make enough revenue off doing that. And I think it's going to be quite time intensive. So for me, I'd be looking at using that as an opportunity to pull people towards you, but then ultimately upsell with other things and product and so on.
Yeah.
So this is a you know, and it's an attraction piece. We've just got to get more people to us. How do we do that? Well, we need to, you know, go marketing 101. So you need to, there's only 4 ways that you can attract people to, you can pull people towards you. So you've got traffic that you can buy, which we're going to come on to. You've got traffic that you own. So that's the people that, you know, they know you, maybe they're an existing customer, a previous customer. If they wanted your product or to do a workshop, they would search for you by name. Then you've got the people that you're going to nurture. You're doing some of that through your social media, but you're doing your email marketing. So you're leaving money on the table there. And then you've got the organic side, which is essentially how people would find you online. Now, if you think about, if we're going to use the workshops and stuff as a pulling mechanism, then obviously geographically we're tied, but that's fine. There's going to be enough people. And do you know how far around where your studio is people will travel? Do you have a sense of how far people will come?
I mean, someone was traveling from Cheltenham, so an hour and a half to drive to my studio to do my evening course.
Amazing. All right. So this is going to be relatively simple then. So you're going to, I mean, if you're sitting on, you said how many? So you've got 500 odd customers and a couple of thousand. So all in, we're probably about 3K email list.
So 2,300 customers on my website and 525 email subscribers.
Okay. So yeah, best part of 3,000. So if previous customers, by buying from you, they've effectively opted into your mailing list. So you can absolutely email those folks and add them to your subscriber base. Don't see them as two separate things. I would tag them differently, that they are a customer and these are a subscriber. But in terms of your ability to mail them and communicate with them, they have all raised their hand and actively said, hey, I've either bought from you or I like what you're about. I want to hear from you. So you have legitimate interest. Quite happily, you can email all of these folks. So have you got, I guess you don't have any kind of email campaign, any email sort of software or anything like that, no?
I looked at MailChimp. I downloaded the app.
That's off-the-shelf.
Far as I got.
I mean, that's an off-the-shelf, all those kind of your MailChimps, your active campaigns. There's 101 tools. We're not affiliated nor recommend any specific ones, but there's so many you can do. There's lots of free options and you can have a free plan and you would get out of the box enough of what you need to do. I would absolutely, one thing you must do is go and carve out a morning of your time out of environment and just go and sit and swat up for a couple of hours, watch a few YouTube videos on how to set up and then automate an email sequence of a handful of emails that can go out for your subscribers. And then just make a point of once or twice a month sending them, hey, this is our upcoming workshop, or we're about to do this for, if you do anything for Black Friday or for Christmas or for this or for that, or, here's our latest range of products. You could just there's going to be loads of reasons and different messages you could put out, but just communicating with, and don't do it always to sell, try and build know, like, and trust, build a rapport, kind of like what you're going to be doing on socials. But do that through email. Email is an unbelievably powerful way of communicating to your audience. Do you have their mobile numbers as well, their phone numbers?
Let's click on a customer and just check. I think some of them would put it on. Yeah, so they either click email subscribed or SMS subscribed. Okay. So some people click email, some people don't.
Yeah, fine. So what I would also do, consider doing for you, particularly with the workshops in mind, text message marketing, I think could be really interesting for you. You can do it literally for pennies. It's incredibly simple and easy to do. That as a way to say, specifically for the workshops, hey, upcoming workshop on this date at this time, limited places, you're going to get incredible open rates on text message marketing. And for localized service that this is, that sort of community-based, that's a really good way of doing it. Yes, you're still going to put your messages into your Facebook groups and all of that, like still do all of that stuff, but email is an absolute no-brainer. If you've got 3,000 people on your email list, if you nurture that list, you will be able to fill easily, twice the number of workshops that you're doing at the moment. So absolutely do that. That is a slap wrist because you're not doing that. You absolutely need to be doing your email marketing. So just do it simply. Don't go over the top. Don't try and be super, start segmenting everything and think you need to be super complex. Just a couple of great imagery with a nice key message, with a call to action, and just highlighting, you're prompting, you're reminding. The power of email marketing is your ability to just prompt them, remind them, hey, we're doing this. This is what we're up to, et cetera, et cetera. So does that make, is it, you've got to do that. That's an absolute must.
Yeah.
Before we go any further, are you enjoying today's episode? If so, you'll love our other show, Tea Talks. They're short, informal chats where the Evergreen experts and I share actionable nuggets on all things paid media, creative, and digital strategy that we use daily when growing our clients' businesses. And best of all, much like this podcast, it's completely free. So if that sounds like something you'd be interested in, see the link in the description. Now, let's get back to it. Right. Now, beyond that, another great way of are you tracking all of your traffic and stuff like that? Have you got like Google Analytics 4 set up and so on?
I do have Google Analytics set up, but I never really look at it.
Classic. How many people say that? I've got it set up, but I never look at it. Have you got a Google Search Console set up?
What does that mean?
Okay, right. There we go.
Hold on to your hats, people.
But so Google Search Console is a treasure trove. You need to Google this. This is homework for you. So after you come off this, you need to go onto Google and search for Google Search Console.
Okay.
And that will prompt you, and you'll click the second link, not the first one. The first one tells you what it is. The second link in the search results, you click that, and then as long as you're logged in to the Google account that is the same one as your Google Analytics account, all you'll need, there's a couple of steps, and give me a shout if you get stuck, and I'll walk you through how to do it. But essentially, you need to pop in your website URL, and then you'll take you through a couple of steps. You can verify it. And what Search Console is, if you think of Google Analytics, will tell you the traffic. So that will tell you how many people have come to your website. And then once they're on the website, what they do. You know, do they download something? Do they interact? Do they buy? It will tell, as long as you've got it set up properly, that's what it will tell you. Google Search Console will tell you how they found your website. Among many other things, but it will give you insights into how people are finding you. And that is going to be a treasure trove for you, because it will tell you how people are searching for your products, your workshops, your courses, which means you can better optimize them, but it also means you can get insights into how people are finding you and what they associate the brand with, and so on and so forth. It's like a bit like Aladdin's cave. Once you go in there, you'll be able to really go, oh, okay, I didn't realize people search for this and they look for that. And that might give you insights in terms of, from a business perspective, how you can better position the services and those workshops you're providing, and so on. So just go and set that up, and then you look in the search results, the performance section, and you'll be amazed at what it will show you. And it's not complicated, very simple. If you get stuck, give me a shout. But absolutely do that. So email marketing is a must. Set up MailChimp, write a little sequence of 4 or 5 emails, schedule them every 2 weeks, get those going out. And I would use the first one as, hey, you've got an email list, and our first event coming up is X, and we've only got 3 or 4 spaces left, this, that, and the other. Yeah?
Yeah.
Then get Google Search Console set up. Now, the third thing, so you said that you wanted to talk about paid media. Owing to what you've said, for the most part, I don't think paid media necessarily is actually going to be I don't think you're ready for it. I think as you grow, it will. And particularly if you'd said to me, I want to kick this business on, I want to be doing $1 million in the next year, 18 months, 24 months, I'd then be saying, right, well, let's look at what we can do and how we can do it. For you, based on the size you are, if this was my business, the way I would be leveraging paid media is for retargeting.
Okay.
So do you know what that is, retargeting?
Where they've clicked on something once and then you keep showing it to them?
Kind of. So what you could do, I'll give you a couple of options, things you could do. So if we look at Google first, there's kind of, when we're thinking about like paid media, there's really two, you've got search and you've got social. So with search, really we're talking Google, Bing, YouTube. If we just look at Google in isolation, what I would be doing for Google is some very, very targeted, so localized, maybe Farringdon, an hour around it, very specifically. And this is where you need the Google Search Console data. But I'd be doing a very small campaign, maybe 10 quid a day, something like that, where you are focused on anyone that's searching for ceramics and pottery workshops, courses, stuff like that. Because there won't be many, but there will be some folks that are looking for that. And if anyone's searching very specifically for that stuff, you want to pop up with a page to your workshops course that says, hey, yeah, these are our upcoming workshops. That's not going to be a cash cow. It's not going to suddenly deliver masses of revenue or inquiries or leads, but it will mean you'll capture those that are searching within your target area. And the good thing is with doing ads like that is it's very, very targeted. If they're not searching, you're not going to come up. If they're outside of your area, you're not going to come up. So you're only going to spend money on those folks that are within our target area, that are looking very specifically for what we do. I wouldn't be using Google Ads to try and sell the products. You're not ready for that. But the workshops where you want to drive physical people into your studio, from a localized Google Ads is the way to go with that. Yeah. So, and also I want to check, have you got your Google business profile set up? You've got, let me just check that. Have you got it? It's not coming up for me. I can see you're on Instagram. So have you got like where hold on.
It tells you like opening hours and location and stuff.
Have you got that? It's not coming up for me, but so I would just double check that is that is live, that it is coming up. Because if I've just done search for Charlotte Manser Ceramics in Farringdon, I can see the website, I've got your Etsy, I can see Instagram and so on, but I can't, it's not bringing up the box on the right. You know what I mean? The box on the right that says, there's a little profile picture and opening hours, website, contact, all of that. Are you seeing that when you do that?
It's not coming up if I've just Googled it.
No. So you might just want to go in and check your Google business profile. I'm just doing another check. No. Let me have a look. Just seeing if it will come up. So I've got it now.
Strange.
If I put in, let me have a look why that's not coming up. So if I put in Charlotte Manser Ceramics Oxfordshire, then it comes up. So you might just want to just double check how it's optimized, and just that you've ticked all the boxes from Google's standpoint. Yeah, because you got 10 reviews. It says your opening hours. Yeah. You might just want to just go and refresh that or get some up-to-date reviews, because the fact that it's not coming up when you just do a brand search is somewhat concerning. And so the reason I mentioned that is because a little thing you can do with Google Ads that will be, particularly when it's super localized campaigns, is you can add in the location extensions. So without getting super technical, what we do, you create a local Google Ads campaign. I would literally put it at like 5-10 quid a day, really, really small stuff. Set it on a target radius just for people that are looking for workshops and courses and so on and so forth. Set that within your target area, and then you connect. You might need someone to give you a hand and help you do this, but you then connect your Google Ads account to your Google business listing, your profile, and that will then mean you can put location extensions so that when someone does a Google search and you come up, they see the ad that says, hey, yeah, here's our next workshop on these dates and so on. But what they also see is those additional assets around the ad that says, oh, and we're in Farringdon, and you've got our opening hours, and you can contact us with this on this number. And it's all those little things that for the end user reaffirms, this is a company that do what I do. They're local to me. I can get in touch with them. You're making it super easy for them, and you'll see better engagement if you do that.
Yep.
Yeah, and it's easy. You set up it's kind of one and done. So if this was my business, that's what I'd be doing for that. And then those folks that you drive into the studio, then you've got the opportunity to upsell them. I would make sure anyone and everyone that comes into your studio, you are data capture. So are you saying to them when they come in the studio, hey, pop us your email? I guess you're not, but pop us your email down, because we have a subscriber list, and we send you updates on our latest courses and so on. If they're in the studio, I would imagine 6-7 out of 10 will sign up for that.
Yeah.
Are you doing anything like that? You should definitely be doing that. No,
because they would have bought stuff on my website to come into the studio, but sometimes we get people just popping in. I should take their emails.
Yeah, not always. It's worth checking. If they turn around and say, "Oh, we're already on it," great, done. Do you know what I'd be doing with this is, if you're going to have your subscriber list, if you're going to start, well, not if you are going to start emailing people right on the regular. So what you want to do, give it a name. Give it a name. So don't just have it as, I might join my email list. Who cares? No one cares about an email list. Come up with something. There must be. I can't think off the top of my head. Darren, I'll get you thinking about it now. Is there any other thing? You don't have to come in now, but have a think. Is there any play on words with what Charlotte does that would work for an email list? I'm going to pose that to you so you can have a think while I'm talking to you. But I think giving it a name. So like our tea break, right? We've given that a name. I could just sign up to our newsletter. Who would care? But by giving it a name and what it stands for, and then you're consistent and so on and so forth, it becomes a thing. And so for you, there must be, with a bit of thought, a lovely play on words that you could do that would work for.
I've got one.
He's good. He is good. Go on.
The Potter's Post.
Oh,
that is good.
Something like that. Have a think, but something like that. Have a think, but something along that way. If you give it a name, it then becomes a thing, and you could then say, "Oh, have you signed up for our Potter's Post?" Instantly, if you say that, what's that? Oh, if I don't sign up, I'm missing out. Mm-hmm. Yeah, beautiful. And I think if you do that and use data capture in store, as well as then also then on the website, you've got your shop, about workshops and so on. You could then have it Potter's Post on the web, on the nav, and if you're on the navigation, and if you had that, curiosity, well, what's that? And then you position it as get exclusive updates and be the first to hear about new products and our, first refusal on our workshop. Suddenly it's an exclusive little group. You could then put it into your social media as well. And you're building that rapport, that know, like, and trust with those users.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just give it a name, give it a label, and people instantly go, oh, I want a bit of that. So Google, super targeted localized ads with just a few pound a day, connect your Google profile in so you get all the local goodness from it. I'd be doing that. Now, the next, any questions on that? Because I want to move on.
No, that all sounds good.
Right, do that. So I'm giving you quite a list. You're going to have quite a bit of homework off the back of this. So you've got that. The next thing that I would definitely be doing is you're on obviously Meta. Are you doing Pinterest and TikTok and all the classics? Yeah.
Yeah, mostly Instagram. That's the social media I use the most.
Fine. So localized targeted Instagram for ads for retargeting is an absolute no-brainer. So what I'd be doing, you can set up the Meta Pixel on your website. You can then essentially anyone that comes to the website or anyone that engages with you on social media. So all of these lovely followers that you've got that are engaging with you organically that you've built over the last year, as well as all the people that you're driving to the website, right now you are relying on those folks to proactively go on your socials, go on your website. Wouldn't it be nice if we could capture all of those folks and then we could retarget them with ads and say, hey, here's our next workshop coming up, or here's our upcoming course, or we're just about to do this, or we're just about to do that, or whatever it is that's going on within your business. You can put on special events and so on, but you can show those ads only to a retargeted audience. So you capture all of those folks, everyone on your email list, everyone that goes on your website, and everyone that's on your socials. All three of those vehicles, you could capture all of those data, those people, and then show them whatever ad you want exclusively to those folks. And you can do that for pennies because you're not going out to the masses. Once you've done that and you've done it for a few months and you've built some data, you could then build some lookalikes and some other bits and bobs to build out your campaigns. But in the here and now, what I'd be doing is running ads just to those folks. So it's super, super targeted. And once again, you'd only need to spend a few pounds because that audience is going to be some good numbers there, but we're not talking tens or hundreds of thousands. So that for Meta for retargeting, and then you can get a mix of different creative. You can, try maybe some still image, some carousels, a little highlight reel for, these are our next courses and this is how much they cost and this is how many places and so on and so forth. But Meta retargeting is an absolute no-brainer. Have you ever looked into any of that?
No, it's just knowing how much to spend because I follow people that talk about Meta ads and they're like, oh, you need to spend significant amount to make it worthwhile. No, and it's like, I don't want to half-arse it,
It's because they are talking about prospecting and going out to the masses. I'm not. I am saying, forget new people. What we're saying is the folks that you've already got, the people that have already been on your website, the people that have already signed up to your email list, the people that are already following your social media, those three groups of people that are obviously not mutually exclusive, but those three groups of people, you can essentially put all of them together in one bucket and then say, I want to show my ads exclusively to those folks. And in doing that, you could run a campaign on £5-10 a day. This is because where you're at right now, it wouldn't make sense. I would not advise you and turn around, start dropping thousands of pounds a month into Google Ads. It doesn't make sense. You haven't got the capacity to scale the product sales, that significantly. That you've got limited numbers on your workshops, and overall, you're only wanting to add maybe 50 grand. If we can grow by 50 grand a year, lovely. That's we're kicking on, and if we can improve profitability, efficiencies, get economies of scale, beautiful. So to do that, we only need to put a few more bums on seats. Google is going to be localized Google ads for those that are searching for exactly what you offer. Makes sense to do it, and then retargeting to just keep the brand top of mind. That is, those two things. I would, if you were to, let's have a think. You probably could spend, you could probably spend £600 a month, £300 on each platform. It's that small. And I think, we don't have a client spending that, such a small amount of budget because, it does. So we work with brands that are the next stage up. But for you, if you if anyone says to you, oh, you need to suddenly start spending thousands, you don't. You would not. The math does not stack up for you to do it. So what you should do, and you could do, is get someone to set up these campaigns for you, because they're going to, and then get them to walk you through it. So hold your hand. This is how it's set up. It's going to be quite basic and quite simple. That's what you need. You don't want something that's overcomplicated, where you look at it and it's like, oh my days, this is crazy. You could learn it yourself, and I think for where you're at, to take those first tentative steps into paid media, often the best way to do it is to just swat up, or it's to get someone to set it up for you and then give you a bit of training on, right, these are the telltale signs, these are the things to look for, these is how to manage it. And then, if you're spending 10, 15 pounds a day, or £20 a day or whatever, you're only going to be spending £500-600 a month, based on to get those extra sales coming in, to get those places on the workshops filled. That's what you need to do. Then in a year from now, once you've done that, you're running 6, 8, 10 courses. That's now starting to attribute more revenue. You're getting more footfall into the store. You're going to be a hop, skip, and a jump closer to thinking, right, the cafe and so on. And then once you're starting to think that, once you're starting to think about the cafe and that sort of that bigger business, that's sort of 500,000 plus, once you're thinking about that, then what you would do is, say we're 2 years further down the line. At that point, you've got a couple of years of building your email list, of retargeting your social media followers. Then the Pixel and Google will know who you're targeting, and you can then go out for prospecting, and you can use it to then go, okay, I'm going to start spending 50, 100 pounds a day. So you start to get into spending 2, 3, 4K, and you're going out more aggressively saying, right, I've now got more capacity. I need more people to, I need to raise our brand awareness, and I need to move things to the next level. But it's kind of baby steps.
Yeah, that all makes sense.
Is there anything there that you want me to expand on, whatever? They're the things that I think you when you listen to this back or watch it back, they're the things that I think are absolute no-brainer. Don't be led by, led up the garden path on this is what you have to do. But equally, I think those things we've discussed are so powerful, and you can do them really for pennies. Don't procrastinate and not do it, because right now you are not leveraging any email marketing, which you are quite literally leaving money on the table. By another string to the bow to drive awareness of your workshops is to target very locally. And then the retargeting piece is, just think of it, don't put the scary labels of it's retargeting, it's this. Just think of it as, I need to keep my brand top of mind for those folks that have already bought from me, already attended a course, already shown an interest or registered. I just need to prompt them, because we're all living busy lives. You just need to prompt them and say, hey, I'm still here. If you're interested, I'm running a course next month. That's all you need to say.
Yeah, I like the sound of it. I think everyone has this imposter syndrome. And when I've sent maybe 3 email marketing over my whole business 5 years. And every time I do it, I see people unsubscribe, and it kind of scares me a little bit. And it's so I got married in August, and then I posted in September photos from my wedding day. And that's the highest day of unfollowers I had on my Instagram, but it's the most liked picture I have. And it's I find it baffling, that unfollow, and it kind of
Charlotte. Right. This, we need to get over this, right? We need to get over this. So look, you can't please everyone, right? Stop worrying about what everyone thinks. Who cares? Who cares? If they want to unsubscribe, let them unsubscribe. Does it make any difference to you? No, you do not need everyone to like you. None of us do. I don't, right? Whenever I send a tea breakout, guaranteed someone will unsubscribe. I don't care. If you've wanted to be on my list and then you don't want to be on my list, that is fine. It's not going to we do not need everyone to like us. For your business, for my business, we only need to be famous to a few. We only need a few people to like us. We do not need to be liked from everyone. It doesn't matter. The nature of, you put anything out on social, some people are going to like it, some people aren't. That's fine. The great thing with email, the beautiful thing with email, like with social media, if they don't want to be on your list, they have the option to unsubscribe. Great.
Yeah.
If you don't want to be my friend, don't be my friend. Same with social media. If they don't like you, then they can block you. They can remove you. Fine. Let them do it. It doesn't matter. Don't let that, affect your ability to grow your business. And you are right. It is very common that people, I don't want to, I don't want to upset anyone, or I don't want to step out of line. All we're doing is going out to people from an email perspective, from a social media. The people that are going to see your stuff on socials are the people that have actively said, I like this, I like Charlotte, I like what she's about, I want to see more of what she's doing. The people that are on your email list have done the same. They've either said, I like this product, I've bought it, I've attended, or I want to know more. If they then change their mind 3 months, 6 months, a year down the line, okay, best of luck. I wish you well. Move on. You cannot let that is such a limiting factor that you just need to get over and just stop worrying about it. But you do not need everyone to like you in business. And in business, not everyone's going to. Some people are going to like you 1 minute, then actually, no, I'm fed up with this. Fine. If they come back, great. If they don't, we move on to the next. We just move on to the next.
Very true.
All right, come on.
I just don't want to.
I'm not having that. You're not allowed to come on the Grow with Evergreen pod and say things like that. Like, that's not happening. We're not having that. We're not having that.
I think I just haven't done it before because, I don't want to annoy people with emails. But thinking about my email habits and, if people email me, I'm like, oh, let's see what they're up to. And I do open them and I do read them. So it's just myself
so
getting in my head, You
already know the blooming answer to this. Exactly that. But and this is the point, right? Is these
you can't see Aaron, but he's getting quite red-faced.
I am getting really animated. Because this is the thing. But those folks that have emailed you, right? It's a prompt for you to then go and have a chat, and you think, oh, actually, do you know what? Yeah, they've prompted you, they've reminded you that they're there. If they hadn't emailed you, you wouldn't have thought about them. Go into who's emailed you, go in your inbox and have a look. Who's emailed you in the last couple of days? And that has prompted you to read their email and go, oh, blimey, yeah, this, that, and the other. That is a trigger for you to, whether you take an action there or then or not, right? It's a prompt for, actually, yeah, I'm good. If you don't email them, we live in the busiest, it's such a busy time. Right? We all just there's so much. It's crazy. The world we live in is crazy, and there's so much going on. So what we've got to do in business is just carve out a little bit of hey, I'm still here. I'll give you a perspective from my perspective, right? Mm-hmm. We've got our tea break. We do a lot of our own content, and we send out newsletters and all sorts of stuff. We know for a fact, the data shows this time and time again, that we will routinely send out weekly tea breaks. We will be sending out loads of different stuff that we're doing across a myriad of different platforms. And frankly, we'll get a few people that will unsubscribe. That's fine. But we will, for the most part, get completely ignored, right? And so you have to develop a thick skin because, most 99.9% of people will ignore our emails, will not get back to us. They'll open them, they'll read them, they'll click the links. We get really good open rates of, 30, 40, 50% on our emails, but they won't take an action. But then what will happen is 6 months after one-way communication, they'll pick up the phone and they'll say, hey, Aaron, loving the pod, loving what you're doing with all of this. I've read some of your emails, and they'll recite back to me a whole bunch of things that we've maybe done over the last few months from seeing our content. And then basically they'll go, yeah, I would like to work with you. And that's after months of one-way communication. Yeah. And so it'll be the same. But if I wasn't communicating and sending those things, even though I'm getting ignored and I'm not getting a response, I wouldn't be remaining top of mind. I wouldn't be reinforcing, hey, this is what we do. This is who we do it for. We'd love to work with you one day, et cetera, that we wouldn't be top of mind. Because from our perspective, unless a business, a brand is interested in or thinking about their paid media, their creative, their digital marketing, they couldn't care less what we do. They have no interest, right? And it'll be the same for you. And so your customers, unless if they're busy, they're looking after the kids, it's the summer holidays, they're doing this, it's Christmas, for the most part, they're not going to be thinking about it. But by staying top of mind, they might just think, actually, yeah, do you know what? I did want to book onto that course, or I did want to explore that, or I did want to pop along there and have a chat. And if you don't prompt it and stay top of mind, they're not going to do it. But if you do, at the right time for them, they will take action.
It just builds the bigger picture by doing these smaller steps, doesn't it?
Yeah. Email retargeting. They are both of those are two ways to stay top of mind with your target customer. And they are two things that, with a bit of either swatting up on YouTube or get someone to give you a bit of hand holding, they are two things you could do before the end of this month. You could have both of those live, and I could absolutely guarantee that if you do set them up both well and implement them both, I guarantee you could fill twice as many workshops and courses in the next 12 months as you've done in the previous 12 months. And that in turn will drive more footfall to the website. It will get you more sales on the website. It will get you more people into your studio, and it will have just a domino effect across your business. And it will take a significant step in the next 12 months to drive you towards getting that shop, getting that cafe, and pushing the brand on.
Well, that sounds great. Let's do that then.
Well, let's do it. Let's do it. That's what I think. Just go and do those things. That's what you've got to do. I think just take it one step at a time, and just go and do it. It's so easy. There you go. You've got your plan. You can implement it now.
Perfect. And I actually, one of my members of staff used to be in a marketing job for an architectural company. So I'm going to utilize her skills a bit more and get her to help with
get her first
marketing.
Get her when this comes out, when this podcast comes out, get her to watch it back, listen to it back, and just say, right,
yeah, absolutely.
Listen to what we've said, and then go and implement those things. There's 4 or 5 action points off the back of this podcast for you to take. You can go take those. All of them could be implemented within the next 90 days and running. And think what that's going to do for your business in 2025. Game changing. All right.
Definitely. Thank you
Charlotte,
so much.
Thank you. Thank you for being on.
Sorry for making you angry.
Never angry, just frustrated for a fleeting moment. And then
I like the word passionate.
Passionate. There you go. That's a better word, isn't it?
Passionate
Exactly.
in an angry sense.
Yeah, exactly that. But no, it's this is the job. The job of the pod is to help people, whatever stage you're at, is to just try and help you see the wood for the trees. Because I know what it's like. I've been there, and I'm regularly there. Is sometimes we just need an outside perspective. Go, no, do it this way, or have you thought of this and have you thought of that? So hopefully today we've given you some ideas, things to think about, things you can implement. Just thank you so much for being on. Best of luck. Keep me posted with how you get on. And as I said, genuinely, if you get stuck or actually just, I can't figure this out, just ping me an email. I will happily just walk you through what you need to do and how you do it. All right?
Thank you so much.
Charlotte, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Well, there you go. That was Charlotte, Ceramics and Pottery. Ceramics and Pottery. We've not had anyone that does that on the pod before. Small business. Hopefully, we've been able to give her some little tips and tricks on things to do. And I think that is so true it's something that we do for every single client, even though most our clients are significantly bigger for the most part. We're still saying, get your email. We don't do email marketing, but it's such an important thing to do. If you're sitting on lots of customer data, if you're sitting on an email subscriber list and you're not leveraging it, we've just started working with another client that quite literally said, "Oh yeah, we've got an email list of about 20,000 people. We're not using it." I literally almost fell on the floor. I was like, "You've got to be kidding me!" And this is so true. So it's. For me, when I'm talking to, whether it's on the pod or a prospective client, it's never about, come and buy what we're selling. It's actually a case of, as a business, the fundamentals are paid media can play a role. You've got to understand the traffic that you own. It's this backbone that I talk about, the backbone digital marketing, which again, we'll link to it in the show notes, but it's understanding the traffic that you're buying, right? That's anything paid media. It's the traffic that you own, understanding that and looking at what's driving that. So your brand visibility, if you're doing PR, if you've been in the game a long time, what you own, really important to understand that. Then it's the nurture, that social media, the organic stuff that you're doing, make that focus. You don't need to be on every platform. Very rarely, like Charlotte said, I'm just mainly on Instagram. Great. Know your lane and then really focus on it and drive it. And then equally from a nurture perspective, from a building know, like and trust, it's email. Email is such a powerful way of just staying top of mind. So understanding what your brand, your business is doing when it comes to the traffic you're nurturing. And then the last one is what you're earning, which is SEO, which for Charlotte, she's too early to really worry about that. And I don't actually think, as long as she's visible for what she does and where she does it, then she's going to be fine. And actually, Charlotte, when she listens to this back, one thing I didn't cover, but I will just mention now, just looking back at the website, is what she needs to do, and anyone else listening to this, if you're a small business that is geographically tied to a certain area, then the best way you can optimize your website, you do not need to pay someone to go in and continue to do SEO on a monthly basis. What you need to do is look at your website yourself and make sure that on every page of your website, in the page title, the headings, the subheadings, and so on, that it clearly says what you do and where you do it. As long as the website's doing it, so I think it's the Ron Seal approach, right? The Ron Seal say it on the tin. It's that's the principle you need to take in terms of how you optimize your website. And so for Charlotte, when she listens to this back, as a final sort of passing comment, her page title on her homepage, all it says is Charlotte Manser Ceramics. It just says brand name. So that's a problem. So what she actually needs to do, a better way of optimizing that page title would actually be, what is it she does? She does ceramics and pottery. I would have it ceramics and potteries - workshops - courses in Farringdon or in Oxfordshire, probably Oxfordshire, because that is what she does and where she does it, which is more important than the brand name. And then if we look down on her website, it then the page title or the heading then says unique, homemade, contemporary. What? It doesn't say what or where, so it needs to say that. And then again, courses and workshops, fine, but either in the title or in the courses themselves, what are they and where are they? And anyone listening or watching it, you'll be able to take that principle and just go and, you might be surprised, just go and look at your own website and say, does every page say what we do and where we do it? As a little sort of very simple way, and when Charlotte listens this back, she'll be able to go and implement that. But yeah, hopefully it's been useful. It's been good fun, this one. I've really enjoyed it. Charlotte's an amazing guest, so I really appreciate her being on. Hopefully you two have found it super useful. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Take care. If you enjoyed this episode and want to see more, well, on the left side of the screen, you'll find a video that YouTube has hand-picked just for you. On the right, you'll find our latest video hot off the press. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe, and hit that notification button. Thanks for watching.